We let you guys know that we were going to be interviewing them today. So everyone wrote in with their questions. We're going to ask them their questions, and we'll also ask them any questions you guys have right now. You can comment anything you want to know from them, any specific skill questions or anything you want to know about the cruises. We're super excited to have them here.
Well, first of all, it's actually really exciting to actually, be here with you on such a gorgeous day.
It's beautiful here in Toronto.
I know, Toronto. They made us drive all the way to Toronto.
I know.
I know, 3 hours.
We could be, yeah, exactly. We could be at the beach right now.
We could be, totally.
Yeah.
But traffic, oh my God, city living must be really tough.
Yeah, I mean, I try and walk everywhere, but...
That's why you're so skinny.
Fabulous, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, it's what you get for living in the city, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we can dive right into the questions. Again, feel free to comment with any questions you guys have right now. We'll ask them while we're live. But the first thing that I really want to talk to you guys about, and it's coming from Patricia. She says, when are you going to do a new stitch along?
Stitch along? What? You guys aren't busy enough with all the projects on Yarnspirations, I'm telling you. Yeah, we actually have a great program lined up. Actually, Julie is our contact person for this. So this is where Julie and us come into play. She's actually maneuvering through all the bells and whistles of the design. So we have something coming in the fall. I think it's around October. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We'll be giving out more information later throughout the summer.
Yeah, and actually, I have seen the design. I've seen the pattern of it. It's a real skill building design. It's really quite awesome. I think there's going to be some really playful colors once you see that.
Yeah, I think so. And people, this is not your simple basic project. There's textures to this, which is really quite nice. When we first saw the initial kind of startup of this project, first of all, Michael and I were like, oh wow, that's really cool. So I think you guys are gonna like this one. I like it, and because of the different textures, and there's going to be some new techniques with this one.
Now, if you remember, a couple of years ago, we did that stitch along with the Simply Soft. I don't even know if that Afghan had a name of it, the mystery. It was like a 9-week mystery.
Yeah.
It was so diverse in skill building, and I compared this particular project. So we've done a few other stitch alongs since that time that have been really quite simple. This one isn't so simple. I think you're actually going to learn something new. Well, hopefully so.
I really love the stitch alongs too because you get to see what the color choices people make. You don't have to stick to the colors that we recommend, and I know color's your specialty.
I love colors, but not only that, what I really like is how the community works together and they show each other how they work and what they're working on, and they post their pictures and they're excited. They might have learned something. There's all these little things that all of a sudden these little crochet along and challenges, people are helping each other. And then of course we get inundated with tons of questions.
Oh, I know. And then people start frogging the work because they see their neighbor actually doing a color that they wish they would have, and so they end up frogging and going backwards. It's actually a lot of fun.
It always blows my mind how fast people finish each clue too, because it comes out on a Monday, say, and then people are done by Monday night, and they're like, "We want the next clue."
I don't know why she's even talking like that. Jeez, we're crocheters. We get in the hook and off the hook, and we're on to something else, right?
Yeah, it's true.
We are pretty determined.
Yeah, and so fast.
Are you going to play along, Julia?
I think I might this year. It's I believe this may be a secret little tidbit for you guys, but this stitch along is done in Bernat blanket. Which I love.
Oh, now you're giving it all away.
Well, that's not less of the mystery, but the mystery is the design, which is really great.
It's really quite amazing. I love the centerpiece of this design. It's a really quite amazing design. So,
great.
So congratulations to the design team.
Yeah. And thanks, Patricia, for the question.
Yes.
So the next question would be, Teresa is asking, what is your favorite yarn to work with?
It all depends on my mood swing. The mornings I could be Simply Soft, and by the afternoon I'm all angry and I need something real nasty to work on. But I think the yarn generally, over the years, Bernat Super Value has been in my life since I was a kid, and I think there's a lot of nostalgia with using that yarn. The dye lots are usually pretty consistent. It's something that I can trust in. I love the color line. Generally, I like that I can afford to actually buy that yarn and actually do a lot of great projects. But it all mood swings with my attitude. So sometimes I like carrying cakes. It all depends what I'm working on. So I think that the project will speak to you. Do you have something?
When I first met Michael, he was pretty much the first time, he used to just buys Super Saver or Burnett Super Value, whatever. That was the yarn that he knew was actually available. So I took him to another yarn place.
Oh my God, it almost
just
killed me.
It totally, because he didn't realize there were so many, there's other varieties out there. And that gave him that little taste. And I've always been a lover of fine yarns. I just, I know how much work gets involved, mind you, I'm a little bit allergic to wool, but when you get really beautiful wool and it's been processed beautifully, you don't.
So soft. Like that.
Yeah, it is so soft. You don't even feel the barbs that wool contains and all that stuff. So it's really nice. But my favorite yarn right now with at Yarnspirations.com is, believe it or not, Burnett Maker.
It's so soft.
It is.
It's amazing.
I new knitters, you need to look at that yarn.
I think so, because that Burnett Maker, when you really crochet with that turns out beautiful stitches. When you do cable textures, anything like that, it really does.
The light just plays with that thing like, oh.
Yeah, well
and I like the colors.
We're talking
it's
about
yarn.
Right? Yeah, you can see the passion. Like Julie is also a crocheter and knitter.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we used that yarn in the last month's lookbook, which was outdoor living, and there was a blanket made in that. It was one of our most popular patterns from that lookbook. It was so beautiful and so heavy. It felt like really high quality for the project. We have a question from the comments.
So the question is, I'm a new crocheter and would like to work with Burnett blanket. However, every time I try, I struggle really badly. Is there a tip for working with this style of yarn or a recommended hook size?
So just to recap, someone's asking if there's any tips or recommended hook size for working with Burnett blanket. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. So an 8mm is the size, 8mm size L crochet hook is for that particular yarn. You look for the yarn, the hooks with the handle on it. I know Michael's carries that. I know other craft stores carry it. It's all about the handle. If you go cheap on the hook, it's not a fun experience, but the handle makes the world of difference for that.
And I find blankets really specific to gauge. It's really, really important to do a gauge swatch with that, because you may end up using a 10mm or 11mm hook to get the right gauge for your project.
Because sometimes your kids make you angry, right? And so your tension could be
really tight.
The dog is just pooed on the carpet for the 50 millionth time, and it's not going to work. So your tension really matters with that particular kind of yarn. But also, I would suggest probably, maybe you would think too, as pull the yarn from the center of the ball to reduce the friction and the tension of that ball. Yeah,
because it's a chenille style, it tends to grab itself.
Yes.
That's right, yeah. And I find myself, I'm a tight crocheter, so
oh my God, is he ever.
So I have to go up like, 2 more just to accommodate that. So if you're a beginner crocheter, you're probably gonna be a little bit like me, where you're worried about making it too loose, you're tight, and so on. You haven't really got your feel towards it. So I would just go up a little bit, like Michael says, find a really decent crochet hook, and then just keep playing around with it. It's interesting that with Burnett blanket, it's easier to crochet than to knit it. Actually,
it's faster for sure.
So for sure.
We've got another question from the audience.
Christina's asking, how do you guys like Burnett Tiny?
Oh, love it.
Great question.
We started playing with this a little while ago,
totally.
and I told him that we have to start looking at this. And anyways, you just
oh my God, he gave it to me.
I started a project, and then he took over. Like, can you imagine?
You guys loved it so much, they emailed me immediately and were saying, we love this yarn. It's one of our favorite yarns that have come out for a long time. And so, I think it's a really unique
I think it's one of the
product.
jewels of Yarnspirations of the Burnett blanket line. I think it's a hidden jewel. It's not necessarily in the Michael store. It's not necessarily. It's still exclusive to Michael's, right?
No, we have it on Yarnspirations now.
Oh, now it's on Yarnspirations.
Yeah.
So you have to look around for this yarn. Honest to God, he just gave it to me before we went on a plane trip. And then he gave it to me, and I was like, I could not take my hands off this thing, Julia.
Yeah. Well, that actually leads into one of our other questions. Deborah wants to know if you have any suggestions for patterns for blanket or baby blanket tiny.
Anything.
Yeah?
Anything. Oh, yeah.
One thing that we are actually working on, Michael, well, first of all, I started this. I can't believe it. I started this. But anyways, he took over. It's actually just a double crochet followed by a single crochet?
Yeah.
Yeah, double crochet followed by a single crochet, double crochet followed by a single crochet. That's how simple it is, and it actually turns out fabulous. And it's nice and textured, and it's really, we're going to show it to you eventually. Once we, sort of finish it.
I think it's one of those yarns that it's going to go beyond baby projects. Like this is something that adults are going to make for blankets and all that stuff. If you love burlap blanket but it's too heavy of a yarn for you, this is going to be perfect.
And the balls just go on forever. And I could not believe, I'm like, I am still working on this ball. But it's all about the ball, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have a small ball and it ends really quickly, it's like you're forever buying balls. I think this is a great value.
Yeah.
So I think it's the jewel.
Great. We've got another question from the audience.
So Claire is currently making the crochet letter cushions, and she's stuck on the letter C. Do you have any tips for her?
I think you should go to your cookie gear. C is for cookie.
Yeah, C is for cookie. C is also for
crochet.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank goodness.
You made, I think, every letter of that alphabet, right?
Well, no, I went through the particular pattern. I think you just got to look at these things as in stages of steps. With the Q, if you think the C is hard, the Q is going to kill you.
Oh, man. Well, I guess it's the charts are really helpful.
The chart, you need to, with that particular pattern, you need to know how to read charts, and we've done that with the tutorial format. Mm-hmm. There's some things that you just have to put yourself down and just buckle yourself into the chair and just say, I'm going to learn today.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the very few patterns on Yarnspirations which requires you to know that stuff.
Just for anyone who's tuning in, I'm here with Yarnspirations and the Crochet Crowd, and we're doing a little Q&A. So if you have any questions, comment in the comments, or questions in the comments, and we'll ask them live. We've got a question from Sharon. She wants to know if you're ever going to go to Australia. I think you have a lot of fans there.
Okay, that's on my bucket list. We've been talking about it. We know that we have a lot of fans in Australia. And we've actually met a few of them actually on one of our crochet cruises. And
oh my God, they're a riot.
You know what, you people from Australia, you guys are the best. You've got the accents, and I love you guys. So we really want to. In some ways, secretly, I'm kind of working on something that we can get to Australia, so we can meet our fans. But
that's a long cruise.
That would be, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you like to come with us?
I mean, if like 3 months on the cruise, I would do it.
Going to Australia, jumping on a cruise ship to New Zealand and back.
Yeah,
wow,
exactly.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly, and maybe actually meet some of our fans there too as well.
Absolutely.
So if you guys are from Australia, comment in the let us know, or let us know where you guys are watching from.
But Australia is our second biggest audience in the
Really?
world. It's America, and then Australia, and then Europe, and then Canada's fourth place.
Well, hit the love button for Australia.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We've got a question from the audience.
Angela's asking, when you design a pattern, where do you seek and find inspiration?
Great question, Angela. I'm curious where you guys find patterns outside of your inspirations.
You know what? I think some of the inspiration comes from our audience.
Oh, yeah.
We have a community that is constantly sharing, and all it takes is a stitch or an idea or even something like Michael and I. We sort of just, Michael and I sort of have this really good relationship where we're constantly coming up with ideas. Mm-hmm. And then from one idea comes another idea. And that's probably like what Yarnspiration does, when they're, tables and, the design team, they discuss things, and then that just leads up to more ideas. And I think that's where it begins. And then, of course, I'm the color guy, and once we get the color, then we get to figure out the
I know. And you know what his problem is in the design stage?
Oh, yeah, I know.
So I would do up a sample, and he goes, you should have did it in a different color. Mm-hmm. And he sees me doing it. He sees me doing it. I don't understand this.
Yeah, well, just because I don't like to, the truth is that I wait for you to figure out what you're actually trying to do. So it's not until after row 10, maybe 12, that you finally, that I have to question, what are you doing? Whatever. So anyways, so be it.
This is going to turn into a Dr. Phil with Julia.
Yeah.
Just a little couples counseling. We got another question from the audience.
Barb is asking, what is in the works for the future?
What isn't in the works? We have so much stuff going on. Oh, we have big things.
Yeah.
Big things.
What's going on this weekend?
What's that?
What are you guys doing this weekend?
Oh yeah, we have a live visit with Michael's tomorrow. 2 locations, downtown Toronto, actually just down the street. And then we have another one in Brampton. So Michael's has asked us to visit 2 stores tomorrow. We're giving away Karen cake.
Woohoo!
Cakes.
So
Cake.
fun.
I don't know how to describe those.
cakes. I guess that's kind of like the best way.
It's not one cake.
Yeah.
We ain't
Cakes
cheap.
made out of cakes.
Yes. So it's actually a tiered cake. So we have 3 of them. 3 tiers, 2 tiers, and 1 big massive tier. So we're going to be giving those away. And Crochet Crowd pins, we have those with us.
Cool.
So
really the most important thing is because Canada 150.
Yeah.
We really want people to just show your pride and show your crafting, you know, crochet red and white.
Yeah, wear red tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am. You are, right?
Yes, I'm wearing my Michael's vest.
Oh, cute.
I know they found one in my size. Can you believe that? Anyway, so then we're also in Ottawa next weekend too.
Right. Virginia wanted to know when do we get to see the big tree you guys are making for Canada 150?
That's a great question. Let's turn to this one.
You got the answer.
Yeah. Now, anyways, everyone, first of all, we have to say thank you for everybody that's donated to our Canadian maple trees. So we ended up collecting close to 13,000 maple leaves.
Wow.
But guess what? We actually needed more.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
We were just like literally...
We would have never thought.
Yeah, we were never thought, but the way we designed the tree, it was literally perfect. And we just needed almost about 100, maybe 200 blue maple leaves.
Did you get them?
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
so we're
nice.
totally fine. We just got them this week. And so, in a ways, I got to finish that up. And then we got to finally just put it together because the truth is that we have not seen it fully assembled.
Yeah.
It's been rainy, it's been windy, and you know the truth, it's 20 feet high,
Whoa.
almost 20 feet wide in that area. So it's a huge tree.
Except the wind hits it, it's going to Canada.
Yeah, it's a sail. It's going up to the north.
I'm so excited to see it. It's going to look like a full-fledged maple
It's
leaf
complete
tree.
crafting, and really, Julia, it was more about. It wasn't even about Canadians doing it. It was a global effort of diversity.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you were still missing some, I bet if everyone in the who's watching right now made one, you'd have more than enough.
Wash your mouth. That was so.
You guys might be getting some extras.
But so far, no. But that's a good thing. We just got enough for for blue. But so anyways, just for everybody, that tree is going to be hopefully displayed very, very soon. We just got to do some final wrap ups, but it's been raining, it's been windy. We just haven't been able to set it up outside. So you know what? I'm so excited. It is honestly fabulous. If you see the trunk of this thing, just imagine all the brown leaves on this thing completely
Neat.
it's just awesome.
Cool.
It really is awesome. So yeah, we can't wait.
Well, if you guys have any questions for the Crochet Crowd or for Yarnspirations, don't forget to ask them in the comments and we'll answer them while we're live. Yeah, and hit the love button if you love the Crochet Crowd, or hit the like button if you love Yarnspirations.
That seems that's backwards. Hit the love button for yarn. Honestly, the Crochet Crowd could not function without a good team of people behind the scenes. And you think about, you got the design team, you got the social team that's behind the cameras here. We got Shannon and Magda that are quietly behind the thing. These girls and boys, well, I think there's one boy in Yarnspirations, really power crochet and knitting to a degree that allows us at home to connect.
Mm-hmm.
Without Yarnspirations to allow us to have free patterns, because even myself, you're on a limited budget. You need to have that creativity, and I think Yarnspirations really gets a lot of kudos, in my opinion, of just what they provide without asking you to pay for anything, and I think that's just remarkable. It really is.
Yeah, I really love that the patterns we make are usually in really versatile gauges for the yarns. So you can use a higher end wool product, or you can use one of our chunky yarns as a substitute. So there's so much versatility there.
And you got a lot of brands too as well. You got Karen, you got Bernat, Peyton's, Lily Sugar and Cream, and even Pentex and all that stuff. So you got a huge range of wonderful yarns that everybody can play around with. I think that's one of the reasons why Michael and I have switched over to Yarnspirations, is because we have that ability to we have a whole playground of yarn.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's like, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is our hardest thing, is basically, what project do we want to work on? Because there's fabulous yarns all the time coming out of that.
And it's affordable. That's the thing. It's affordable. That's the highest priority for myself.
Yeah, I love that we included the clearance section too on Yarnspirations for if you want to stock up on some.
Absolutely. If you don't want to pay full price, go over to Yarnspirations, look at clearance in the upper menu.
Yeah.
Shop, 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 shop. Because you don't know when it's gone, because when it hits that clearance section, something is going on behind the scenes. So don't be sitting on no fence. Just start boom, 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 and apologize to whoever you need to later. I'm telling you.
We got another question from the audience.
Joey's asking, do you dream about crochet?
Oh, Joey. Good question. I know.
She has something going on with Joey. Do I dream it? Yeah, I think a lot of ideas. I remember my dreams, which is actually really amazing. Sometimes I just dream that I've just done something, and you get up in the morning and say, I have to do that, but it's very hard to work with me. Because the fact is that my thoughts and ideas can just be boom, 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 and I'm always thinking. So
Sometimes I have nightmares about making a mistake and not realizing until you're like 20 rows down.
Really?
20 rows away.
That's good. So let's psychoanalyze. Okay, so everybody at home, let's psychoanalyze Julie. If
What
she's
does this
dreaming
dream
about
mean?
making, yeah, what does that truly mean?
Yeah.
I don't have those kind of dreams of actually making mistakes in projects, but
I think that's a perfectionist, and you know, and Julie right
but
there.
she's so professional. Like her
Yeah.
emails, they are no love about it. It's like boom, 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 boom. But it is amazing because behind the scenes you need that, like bam, bam, bam. There's no like going around the topic. I love that about you, by the way. I've told her superiors are up too, but yeah.
For me, I don't dream about crochet, so it's okay.
Nice.
He doesn't remember his dreams.
Actually, I do. I often, I remember more about music because I was in music, okay? So that was my thing. And often, I don't know, like I used to be an organist and played in the symphony and all that stuff. And everything from all my bowls broken or one of my pipes is like not working or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but those are the things I typically dream. I don't dream about crochet. I don't even like, But
Yeah,
I let
that's
Michael do it. I think, what, he can have all that.
Yeah, your dreams of drowning in balls of yarn. It's just
Yeah,
overtaking.
no, I don't ever have. I think with the yarn, no, I don't.
Sometimes.
No, what?
Sometimes.
No,
I
just
think so.
snakes and spiders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those mess with my mind in the middle of the night. I'm a sleepwalker.
Yeah, me too.
Are you really?
Yes.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever done?
I left my apartment once.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was living in a condo, so I didn't.
Well, you left at the front door.
No, just into the hallway. All right, we've got another question from the audience.
This question is all the way from Denmark.
Wow.
And it is, I'm a loose crocheter. Any advice on how to become a tighter crocheter?
Go down in hook size, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You just got to reduce your hook size, or just get some extra stress in your life, and you'll tighten up easily, for sure. We all crochet differently. That's the thing about even on the cruise stuff and any live events. Everybody at the table crochets differently, and that's why the gauge stuff has been provided on patterns as a standard. But sometimes you have to work. I'm a loose crocheter too. Don't tell anybody at home because I don't want the rumors getting out. But I'm loose too, so I have to reduce my hook in order to get to the right size. And it matters especially on hats. I have ruined so many hats because you put it on and it's just like you turn your head and the hat's not turning.
Well, hats and garments too, because if you're building a garment, you want the sleeve to fit properly, or you want the shoulder to fit properly. But blankets, I feel like blankets, you can kind of
Yeah,
just
who cares?
go for
Yeah,
it.
who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless you get family and you're like that, like to stick their toes through crochet stitches. You ever get that?
No.
Oh my god, you just want to break their toes off every time they
They're
put.
stretching it out.
They are. They put their toes through there, and you're like, oh my god, I spent hours on that thing, and you're ramming your dirty little toes through there.
Is that directed at Dan?
You want to break all their little piggies off. Boom, boom, boom.
All right, we got another question from the audience. I love that you guys are asking so many. Keep going.
Melissa is asking your thoughts on Bernat Beyond and where she can get it.
Okay, Bernat Beyond, I haven't actually played with yet. I actually have the samples at home. I kind of took it out of the boardroom at Yarnspirations, but I didn't.
That's where those went.
I know. I didn't. I'm like, actually, I really like that yarn. I think it's nice and chunky, especially as for the north. It's all about the chunk, full figure kind of yarn. But the reality is that us in the north, we need that extra warmth, and I think that yarn is amazing. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Bernat Maker in a little bit.
Yeah, it's a 6 gauge, so bulky or super bulky, and it's got a really nice weight to it. It's 8 ply, so it's really thick, really strong and sturdy.
Yeah, it's got a weird looking twist to it because it is 8 ply, but it's really neat. And if you don't got a lot of time, you want to teach a kid to crochet, and you just don't want to invest hours and hours and hours into the kid. Give them the chunky yarn.
Yeah.
Does that sound like terrible
Your
parenting?
favorite kid gets a lace weight blanket, but the one you don't care about gets the bulky one.
It's the favorite kid you give the glue gun to. You know what I'm talking about? But Honestly, it's bulky yarn. It's perfect because you want to teach a kid to crochet, but you can just sit there and the kid can frustrate themselves by using a yarn that may be thinner. So I think the larger gives at least a kid the feeling of gratification that we feel as adults a lot quicker,
Right.
especially in the learning process. So I think there's a lot of and the color line is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Actually it is neat. I've actually worked with it. I made a couple of hats with it already, and it's a nice round yarn. Okay, it's not like it doesn't flatten up. Okay, so it's nice and round. So when you do your stitches, you really do see them. But
It's great for learning because you can really see your progress and any mistakes you've made or anything like that. There I go with the mistakes again.
I know. we'll have some psychoanalyzing later.
I have to admit, I really like the variegated of that because I just when it crochets, it's just sort of. It doesn't blend. It's just more like it's a nice good speckle of colors, and I think to make cowls or anything like that, that is the type of yarn that you should go for.
Yeah, and to answer the second part of the question, it is available on Yarnspirations.com, and you can keep an eye out on the major retailers, and you'll be seeing it throughout the summer there as well.
And don't forget to push that love button too as well. You really like a yarn that we're talking
Yeah.
about.
And the
Push
thing,
that love
and the
button.
thing about it, okay, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's pretend Julia's not here. This is a Crochet Crowd thing. You got to make sure that you tell the yarn companies on what you like. It's so important. You may think it's a wasted email to customer service and say, I really like such and such a yarn. If people don't express that like to the company itself, it just may disappear. So if you like something, it takes a few moments. The contact page is on Yarnspirations to contact customer service and let them know you like something, because we have seen great yarn and it's like, and then after it's gone, everybody says, I love that yarn. And I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We never knew that.
Even comment on Facebook and let us know. Like, as much as we love hearing any frustrations you have or any questions or concerns, it's always so nice to get the positive feedback as well.
Especially when you work in customer service. If anybody's ever worked in customer service, it isn't always the friendliest job, and you spend a lot of time during the day apologizing for things that just are not beyond your control.
Yeah.
So to get a positive comment actually makes the customer service job actually feel like you're actually making a difference instead of trying to put out the fire all the time.
Oh, I remember I had to do customer service. I only lasted for a few days, but
I believe it.
it's like, oh, what, you want some special? Okay, I'll give you a special.
I just got cut off.
Oh dear.
No, don't give our customer service any ideas.
Oh, honey, they got ideas of their own. What are you talking about? They have a great customer service team behind the scenes.
We really do try and make everyone happy and fix any problems.
Yeah, I know some of them have been there since the furniture has been ever invented for the Yarnspirations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have another question.
Melinda's asking, what is your favorite thing to crochet?
You love Afghans.
I like Afghans. Sometimes I just like stupid Afghans. Just okay, that's not worded right.
What's a stupid Afghan?
Look at this Afghan. It's just stupid. I like Afghans sometimes that I just don't have to think. You just want your hands to do something. So I like and that's, I guess, childhood coming back. Just it's just the motion.
Yeah.
Just the motion of the movement.
Yeah.
You're a fast crocheter, and that actually makes it really, really quite accessible for you.
I know, I was telling Magda the other day, I did an Afghan, and I said it only took 4 evenings, and she was like, oh my god, take forever. But I like sculptures the best.
Your sculptures are amazing.
Yeah, I have to say, if I could quit anything and money was never an option, I would totally do sculptures.
It's an art piece.
Yeah, he loves doing
that. You have no idea. I jump up and down like a seal.
How long did the Nutcracker take you?
1 month. I took a month off work to do the neck down, and then we had our friends Kevin and Karen to do the neck up.
Oh, neat.
And so it was a combination of 4 of us to actually pound it that way. It's probably the most proudest thing I've ever made.
Yeah. My concept, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. but it actually...
We've got another question.
Yeah.
The question is, Dan, would you ever design?
I actually did.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get comfortable. You better zoom out that camera.
Yeah. Actually, I've designed a few things. Yeah, but I never write the patterns down. That's the problem.
That's the truth. He does some cool stuff.
I do.
And he says he'll write it down, but you think he does, and then he leaves it on my desk and says, "Figure it out what I did."
No, I don't. I never do that. I make sure.
That's a lot. Give the love button for a lie. That is an absolute lie. That is fake news.
So, but to answer that question, if you ever check the Winter Blizzard Afghan,
Yeah, that's true.
That is mine. Okay, I did finish that one. Okay.
Can we tell the real story of what happened with that?
Well, yeah, I came up with the pattern and I sent it to someone else to finish it.
I know. Who does that?
I do.
Apparently that's normal in the crochet industry, where a crochet designer makes something as a little mini sample,
Right.
and then somebody else does the crochet work. I don't like doing that. I like to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He likes to hand off.
Yeah, I come up with the idea, but like for Afghans, I'm such a slow crocheter, so
Yeah,
it's
that's
just,
true.
and I'd rather give it to someone who knows how to do it. But yeah, I do some designs.
He does a lot of designs. He just doesn't write them down, and I never get to actually
But
write them.
interesting, I don't do patterns.
Yeah.
I don't do patterns. I come up, I just look for the stitch, and then I'm like, okay, what can I do with the stitch?
That's true.
I'll create something, but yeah.
All right, we've got our last question of the day.
Already?
Already.
Wow.
When you're crocheting, how do you keep your hands from hurting or cramping?
Well, you answer that one.
Okay.
I don't crochet
Okay,
as much.
it's all about the elbows. Okay.
Elbows.
So we all think about the hook, okay, and we think about the movement of your hands, okay. But the reality is that it's all in the elbows. So you take your pillows. The pillow here. So you take your pillows, okay, and you sandwich yourself into your favorite thing. And if your elbows are supported, you have no tension on your wrists or your fingers.
Interesting.
And so whenever I crochet at home, and I'm always fighting over the pillow with him, it's only my hand doing the motion. Also, I never noticed until like one of the recent crochet cruises, people said that I actually don't move my hands, I actually just twist and just rotate the hook within just a twist. And so the less motion you can put on your wrist, the better, but it's all about the elbows. If I don't have that, especially when it's in your plane and stuff, like you don't have that support because you got some knob wanting to use the armrest, so you just got to make room with that. So it's just a matter of supporting your arms.
That's a brilliant idea, and actually, just by bringing that, push that love button because it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be using pillows now.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
all about the
Actually,
pillows.
make some pillows from Yarnspirations.com.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got
we
so
got some
many
great
patterns.
pillows coming out.
Yeah, you know what? I really do think pillows are kind of like, most people like doing Afghans. I think pillows are actually, it's that added accessory that really totally makes your living room or your living space amazing. When you go to the store, we see a lot more knitted and...
I know, you go there and say, I can make that, I can make that, I can do that. You ever do that?
Yeah, all the time.
And
But then I never make it.
I know. It's just the fact that you say you can.
Yeah,
So can we let a little secret out for tomorrow?
absolutely.
Are we allowed to?
Yes.
So tomorrow at Michael's, at both locations, we are actually going to have a display for Canada, and all of the patterns that we will be having on display will be released on Tuesday with thanks to Yarnspirations.com.
Yeah.
So anything that we have, there is some really cool stuff. It is very Canadiana, very for knitters and crocheters.
It's a Canada 150 lookbook, so it's dedicated to Canadian patterns and Canadian yarn, and we really tried to make some really beautiful patterns for you guys.
Yeah, it truly is. So, so tomorrow when we go live, you'll probably see some of that stuff. So you just be patient. It's coming out on Tuesday, but another great reason to come back. And I love that, you guys. I don't even know how your design team does that many designs.
Yeah,
Sorry,
every
what was
month too. This is our second lookbook this month
I know they're slave drivers. And Nicole, if you're there, give us a good thumbs up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer everyone's questions. It was really fun to get to know you guys a bit better and learn more about how you operate. We're really glad everyone tuned in. Don't forget to hit the love button. Leave any other questions you guys have. We'll answer them after the video ends. And tune in next week for more tutorials and interviews.
What do you got
and
planned
all
next
kinds
week?
of stuff.
Are
I think we're going to be talking about the lookbook, so you'll get a really good glimpse into some of the patterns that are going to be in there.
And that's so important, you can look at a pattern, and you would agree with this, but having somebody, and even one of the designers to actually talk about the concept, it's like a teacher doing a book report, and you don't want to read the book.
Yeah.
But then she'll tell you what it's about. It's like, oh, you just need to get in there, and I love that you guys are doing that.
Yeah.
So this is a new concept for them. So if you like this, you should make comments too.
Yeah. All right. Hit the love button again, and we're so glad you're all here. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later.
Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you again real soon.
Bye.